The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What is up, Octo Nation? It's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. What a wild and crazy day we had today. You see the big caps? They were tanking, which means it's time for me to release this video. This is the top 5 big cap option type plays that we can get in this month right now. We're going to play what's called the earnings play. So what do you do when you're getting in before the earnings come out for the quarter, hoping that the earnings are going to be good? And we want to get in before the earnings come out. That way it's not as cool, and by the time the earnings come out, it'll probably ride up until the earnings come out, and then it's either going to have a little sell-off or it's going to keep mooning. So we're going to dive on in. First one up is lulumon. Y'all heard of that? Lulumon. They're pretty good. It's a Tennessee whiskey. No, it's not. It's yoga pants for men and women. Okay, any guys out there rocking the lulumon? I don't know. I don't think I can get into that. So I was contemplating whether or not to put this one on. I want to talk about it regardless. So this list is not necessarily ones that I'm saying dive on in right this second. If you know anything about this channel, that's not what I'm about. I'm not saying drop everything you're doing, buy these right now, guaranteed results. I'm never going to tell you that, okay? But these are ones to watch out for, be aware of. There's still money to be made in all these, I definitely believe. lulumon, why I don't really like this play is because they have a lot of brick and mortar stores. Brick and mortar is not good right now. They are huge online. They are increasing online. That is good. Some of their stores closed down. Some are opening up. Some still haven't opened up all the way. I will notice, and I pointed this out like a couple months ago, that when the stores started opening up, like at the malls, like a month or two ago, like they were trickling them in, certain hours, only certain people time, whatever. When I went to the mall, there were 2 stores that had lines out front. What were those 2 stores? One was lulumon, and one was Apple. Apple I'll never ever understand, but lulumon I kind of can. I mean, it's the hype thing. It's the it's the booty shot for for all the tweeny boppers out there. Okay, so I kind of understand that. There's another major catalyst going on for lulumon, and that is that they spent about $500 million, I think it was. Am I wrong? Am I right? I can't remember. Is it 500,000? 500 million? 500 million, $500 million on this thing. What is this thing? This is called the mirror. This is a mirror that you hang on your wall, and it's got kind of like a weird, like halfway transparent screen in it, where you've got access to a personal trainer, and it'll show your heartbeat, and it'll play music, and you can like compete with your friends, I guess, on there somehow. But that's about it. I mean, do you think that's kind of cool? I think it's kind of cool, but I mean, it's nothing, I could see myself ever buying. Do I think it will sell? Yeah, the micro millionaire wives, they're gonna have to put that on their Christmas present list. I'm sure Santa Claus will be delivering some. But it's not a everybody gotta have it business, and that's why I don't like it. Every girl nowadays has gotta have some sort of workouty pants, right? So I'm for lulumon. I don't think every girl or guy has to have this mirror thing whatsoever, which is why I don't like it. I don't like that they spent 500 million on it. I think it might do okay though, like the Peloton thing. Like, why is the Peloton cool? Because it's cool. It got hyped. I mean, isn't it just a treadmill with an iPad duct taped onto it? I don't know. You tell me. How much is the mirror? Only $1,495. Oh, but we're not done yet. It's also, you only have to pay as low as $42 a month if you want to get the make payments on it, right? And you have to pay $39 a month subscription. So that's where they're really going to make their money on top of that. Costs on this will probably be 30 split is how businesses usually do it. So this probably costs them $500 to advertise. And so they're probably still making $200 to $300, and the retailers maybe making $200 to $300, something like that. Regardless, they might make a little bit on the mirror, but the big money is in the subscription, because you times $39 times even 10 months. What is that? Tell me down in the comments. It's way too much. That's what I think. So lulumon, they are having their earnings, I think, in like a week. Okay, and the stock is already kind of moving up. I think it's to the point where I wouldn't chase it. You know, if they didn't buy the mirror thing, I think I'd be more apt to do it. And if they pulled a little bit more out of retail, or they weren't in retail, I'd really think about it too. If it was a straight online play, I'd be more about it. But you add on the mirror thing, and I'm like, it's a little sketchy. I still think, it's still mooning. It's still going up, but is it too late to jump in and maybe get some calls on it? I think it might be. What do you think? Are you already in it? I think you'd probably be fine, but it's just been mooning a little bit too hard for what I like. Next one we're going to talk about is Costco. Y'all ever been to Costco? Man, they got everything from beef jerky to light bulbs to duct tape in the bulk section, alcohol, beer, bread, pies, big old pies. Absolutely insane. You think that Costco is not going to have a successful quarter next quarter? Are you kidding me? They are absolutely benefiting from everything that is going on right now. So I am all for this play. I think Costco's earnings are going to be way up high where they should be, just like they were last quarter. Right now, when I started making this, they were sitting about like, $3.49 or something like that, and they just have been just kind of skying straight up. Now, the cool thing about this is their earnings aren't till the end of the month. So I was trying to find ones towards the end of the month. That way we still have some run up. So we still have 22 days of run up before even earnings. So, I think that this will definitely keep going. So I'm already on the green, I think, on a call from yesterday, and it's already slamming high. printing bills. So does anyone think, can anyone think of anything negative about Costco for this coming quarter? I can't. I honestly think I might even buy more Costco, but I don't know. There's a lot here. Of course, I got carried away. Next one is Conagra Brands, which is a store food play. Have you heard of Conagra? I have. They got earnings $9.24. So again, we have about 22 days, which is a lot of time. So these guys are cool. This is a company that basically makes food, boxed food for a grocery store. So I guarantee, have probably eaten a lot of their food. So and how are they doing? They're going up. All right. These are the numbers from the last quarter. You can see the staples were up 46%, frozen food up 26%, snacks up 20%. Year over year, e-commerce dollar sales up 89%, Q4 21%. Here's some brands. They got Banquet. Y'all ever had a Banquet frozen meal before? I had a friend in high school, and he would eat 2 Banquet fried chicken meals every single day for dinner. And I think he smelled like Banquet for a long time too. Y'all ever had Banquet? Marie Callender's Bird's Eye, Evol, which is, I think it's like it's hitting on the paleo. So that's trying to be like the all natural stuff. And they even have a Gardein ultimate plant-based burger, Swiss Miss, Lucky Charms, Act 3 popcorn, Healthy Choice, Keto Brand, Duncan Hines. These are all brands they own. So this is like the big box store play. I think this is kind of one of those dumb ones. Of course their earnings are going to go up. Of course. Okay. 2021 objective, maintain momentum with consumers to maximize long-term value creation, contribute building to the highest impact of culture and food. So they're trying to bring like other cultured foods in, which is kind of cool. Achieve year 21 leveraging ratio target, ensure physical availability to supply elevated demand. So again, they got elevated demand and they're having trouble keeping up. Numbers are up. Here's some more brands. Slim Jim. We've talked about Slim Jims before on 7-Eleven. Y'all remember that video? Over Redenbacher's, Vlasic Pickles, one of the best out there. Duke's beef sticks. Those are actually pretty good for store-bought beef sticks. Not the best, but they are for store-bought. Hunt's, that's the best ketchup. Can't prove me wrong on that. Tons of brands. What do you think? I'm going to keep moving on. You can always go to my site, check out this list, and just read it if you want to do that, but I'm always going to leave more links and stuff in there for you. Next one up is Fedex. Does everyone know who Fedex is? Okay. Basically, they have a monopoly on overnight package delivery. A lot of people don't know this, but the USPS, United States Postal Service, actually pays them billions of dollars. I think they just paid them like $11 billion to move packages overnight. Who flies packages overnight? They do. This is another. We've talked about the USPS before and how, as a business, they are a business. Okay, they are a service, but it's a business too. USPS needs some help. Here's one right here. They're paying someone else to fly packages. they need to buy their own plane, okay, and fly their own packages. It's a perfect example because FedEx is making money. But until then, let's invest in FedEx. I am. Increased prices. They've increased prices recently quite a bit. I think it was like 4 or 8% or something like that, which is great. Current situation is great for business, quote unquote. So they have, on September 11th, they have the earnings coming out. So that's actually here pretty quick. That's about 9 days. But this one kind of came down and consolidated a bit down in, I guess that was March. I had the March dip, it came up, and I think the other earnings were maybe right on here, I think like June, July, but it went up a little bit. But since then, it's just been mooning. It went from like all-time highs before like $160, but this is already sitting at $225. And I ended up getting $230 calls and $235 calls, and they're already printing. Told you all about this one yesterday, I think, too. But still, I think we've got some time. I still think it's going to run. Most of these big caps have been running to about 2 to 3 days-ish before the earnings release, and then it gets kind of shaky. People start, I'm out, and taking profit and stuff. So kind of watch that, but I still think we've got plenty of room to run here. So this next one is, y'all seen Shill today, by the way? I mean, Shill the past week, SHLL, my goodness. So I think we've definitely got that thing going with the SPACs where, it's about a month before their final merge where they get this just massive parabolic spike. And I was even contemplating and having a conversation yesterday with some people about the fact that maybe it's the best move for SPACs just to not even get in until mergers already announced, all that, and then when they get a month to fully finishing the deal, that's when you get in, because look what's happening to all these right before that. And as I said that, guess what came out today? The other SPAC that we've been talking about this morning, which is Feek, which of course has just been parabolic. So that ruined my whole thesis. It really is just the companies are merging with are just not hitting the right bone. But regardless, for the most part, this is kind of the play we're looking at here is for LCA Golden Nugget Online Gaming. This is the gambling online, Fertata, the Fertita dude. Nothing holding it back right now. Super low price to entry if needed. Also, so a lot of these too, I want to get that are easier for beginners to get in for maybe your first call option play, because it's the barrier to entry to play is not that high. It's not like you need $2,000 or $5,000 or whatever to get in. A lot of these you can get in for like $100 or $200 or something like that. So that's pretty cool. So on this, we've got, let's see, there's supposed to be news by September 3rd, which is tomorrow. And hopefully we get a merger date. We don't even have a merger date yet. But I ended up getting some September 18th calls on this. That is a little bit too early for me to recommend to anyone. If you're going to get calls on this, try to get these out past the merger date, the calls. You're going to pay a little bit more, but, just manage your own risk, whatever you can handle, okay? Next one is FMCI, which is the tattooed chick with the frozen food play, the one that does white label stuff for Trader Joe's, which is rad, and she's got the awesome team behind her, even families involved with the, foods for grocery stores. That whole sector is going great. So frozen foods, tattooed chick, we got September 30th to combine fully. So we got just about a month exactly. And this thing I was calling out yesterday, just like a couple of those other ones where it's sitting right at the bowl. And I was saying, it's hitting right at the parallel, and this is probably going to start popping. And sure enough, today, I was going to get calls yesterday on the $20, but today it already broke $20. So you would have been already printing money. But still, we have 30 days. I think this thing is going to start ripping. Okay. And today, I don't know where it ended, but time of this picture here is at $20.62. So I think it'd be a good one also. Next one we're going to take a look at, you might never have heard the brand, but I guarantee you, well, don't guarantee it, but I'm sure you've heard a lot of these brands that they do have. Constellation Brands, okay? They've got earnings coming out on 9/29/20. What do they do? Alcohol, okay? Modelo, you heard of that? Corona, Extra, Svedka, vodka, Highway's whiskey, Casa Noble, Rufino, all right? Robert Mondavi. Any winos out there? Robert Mondavi's got some good wines. Cabernet Sauvignon, it's pretty good stuff. Anyways, this is a big alcohol play. These guys own tons. This is one of the biggest alcohol plays out there. They've got, their main focus is like the high-end section of all liquor and beer. And the high-end section is still growing, and alcohol is still growing with what's going on too. People are drinking, sitting at home bored, right? What else are you gonna do? So how's the stock look? So back here, Q1 earnings came out on 7/1, which was right here. It came out and it was $175. Basically overnight, it jumped $15 on top of where it was at because it had good earnings, of course. And then it kind of, went down a little bit, went down, bottomed out, and now it's on its way back up. It still hasn't hit all-time highs yet. It still hasn't even hit as high as it was back from the last quarter launch. And I'm sure, what do you think, that there's going to be even more profit this quarter that they're going to show. So technically, it's probably going to get above $190, don't you think? I do. So I think this would be a fantastic one here. This one is, it doesn't run as parabolic as some of these, but it's still got decent run. If you go up $15, I mean, you can get a call out for $5 or $10 ahead of this, dude. I don't see how you wouldn't be fine. So again, this one is same as the end of the month. So 9/29 is what we got for that. Same with this. This one's McCormick. Y'all heard of them? I'm sure you've used some of their stuff. I know some of y'all in here use the Grill Mates for your steak. Is that you put Grill Mates on everything? The Montreal steak seasoning. I think they sell this at Costco in like the big, huge, like half-gallon Montreal seasoning. All my friends always have that stuff. I can even spot it out of a picture. They got French's ketchup, which is not that good. Hunt's is way better, but they got French's mustard, and that's the best mustard for just classic American. They also got Frank's Red Hot. I love that stuff. Old Bay seasonings. That's not bad, but it's a good seafood seasoning. These guys are big on seasoning. They also have some other, mid-food kind of plays in there, but these guys are big, I mean, it's a company not ever going anywhere. So on 6/25, they actually showed massive profits, of course, because of what's going on. This is grocery store play. They were at like $1.75, $175 a share, and they ended up going up like a rocket. And look at it since then. It's just going. It went from 175 and now it's sitting at 209 at the time I grabbed this. So, again, we got about a month until this gets announced. So it's probably going to keep running. If it ran up this much just from that, I think we're good. We are sitting at all-time highs, but always protect yourself. This one here, I started doing, I think, a video on its own a long time ago, but regardless, I'm just throwing it in here. This one is called Unfi Foods. I really like this company. These guys are big on like the all natural, like the organic food industry, but they're also really big on, which is the play that I like about what they do, is they're big on, like, let's say I've got a salsa brand that I just made, and I couldn't figure out how to get into stores, or I need help with branding or any of that stuff. You can go to them and they'll take care of all that for you. Obviously they're going to take a cut, but with their connections and all that, they can get you into Amazon. Yeah, this guy's like the main supplier for Amazon. And then they also just paired up with a grocery store called Shoppers Value. So they've got that, Whole Foods, Kroger, Northgate Market, Fiesta Foods, Fresh Direct, Cash and Carry, the Fresh Market, I've been there too, National Co-op Grocers. So that's awesome. So I like how they can take a brand, they can help you with the branding, the marketing, all that, but then they also supply the food. These are the ones that bring it to the company. So that's great. Top customer concentration. You can see they're actually above this other company, a competitor called SPTM, Spartan. They're at 17%. Unfi is at 19%. So they've got a medium share of this exact market. Largest product offering in North America, food for wholesalers. So this can be a good and a bad thing, right? Like, in a sense, it's good to be totally diverse and offer 10,000 different things. But in a way, it could be looked at as a bad thing because, I'd rather just deliver only bananas and be the banana king, right? But what if bananas got found out they cause cancer or something? then you're screwed. So it's good to be diversified. But look at this. They're big on natural, conventional, specialty, service, protein, produce, deli, private brands. They make $1 billion. I think it was probably last year, just on private brands, or 7.2% category growth last year. And then e-commerce they're on too. So they've got more than 250,000 SKUs. It's huge. benefiting from favorable food at home trend. So this is right when the thing happened here in March, and this blue line is basically consumer foods, like people are just buying. And there is kind of a downtrend on it, but I still think it's probably going to level out and stay way higher for at least a year or two, because people are not going to be able to afford to go to restaurants, and then going to restaurants isn't as cool anymore, yada, 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 yada. And then here is their ticker lay. So in 6-1, right here, right at, where were we? Yeah, right at like $16, they came out with their last quarter results, and they showed a 54% income increase. Holy Toledo. Now, I will warn you about this stock is, for some reason, people like to drag it down. It's not, this is probably one of the smaller ones we're talking about. It's not like a massive, as big as a lot of them. So we're only sitting at like, $16 or whatever. And this still went to, let's call it like $20, $22, $23. That's still a good run up, but then look at this, it just killed it, went all the way down back to below where it was at, and then since then it's come up and arced out, but then it's been down, but it came down and it tagged this $17.16, and then now it has just been coming back up. So again, we've got till the end of the month. I think this thing should technically at least run a little bit, but just kind of be careful with this one. I wouldn't go as big on this because of just lack of knowledge of the industry. Like, no one knows who UNFI is, right? Nobody knows who United Foods Natural Foods is, right? So that's why, that's why the other ones are so big and so more parabolic. They're bigger. Then if you want to get into some precious metals, someone had asked me about these, and if I had to recommend 4 precious metal plays, number 1 would be Kirkland Lake. Kirkland Lake, I believe, has the lowest all-in sustaining cost for precious metals, silver and gold. In other words, it costs them less to pull and refine gold or silver out of the earth versus anyone else, as for being that big, I think. So they're just one of the lowest. Like, they've got a lot of stuff in like Canada and Australia, and it's a rock solid business. People love it, and I think this would be a safe bet. If you think precious metals are going to continue going up, all these next ones here should be going up if silver and gold keep going up. And if they do, then all these for sure are pretty much guaranteed to go up. Next one is SILV. That is Silvercrest Metals. This one has got one of the highest grade silver mines in the world. It's like insane, like unbelievable. Basically, they're just like pulling solid handfuls of silver. I don't know if it's like that crazy, but it's pretty much like, it's crazy. The biggest by record I think they've ever found. So this is someone, they're not producing yet, I don't believe, but they've got big old mines down in Mexico, decent jurisdiction, and lots of hype on this one. Will be good. Next one is ticker GOLD. That's Barrick Gold. This is the one that Mr. Buffett's investment group jumped in on. Remember, that was like a couple months ago they jumped in, and even though he's always made fun of people that buy gold and all that, his investment group finally bought in. He personally did not, but his investment group did. So this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, like gold silver miner out there. So this is one of the most rock solid ones. Even if 2 or 10 of their mines went down, it probably wouldn't even affect them. Right? They've just got so much. I mean, it would, but you know what I'm saying. They're so massive. That'd be a good one. And then PAAS, which is Pan American Silver Company. These guys, I believe, have multiple locations. Mainly, it's a North America play. They are, I believe, producing, or at least further than SILV. But this is another fantastic one. They've got the team, everything about it. It's super hyped. So again, this would be a nice one to get in. Did I miss any? Are there any other coming up here recently? I could keep going on this forever and finding more and more that I like, but I think these are probably the safest, best bets to get in. Obviously, you know, still manage your risk. You decide, still look up. There's still tons of information to look up on all these. Thanks everybody for watching this. If you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up, that really helps. And then if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. But really what I want is if you could share this with any of your friends on any other social media sites, or you know, your Twitter or whatever, and do like us on Twitter, because I am hitting last information and charts pretty much all day long on that. So if you want last minute up-to-date stuff, hit us up on there. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Take care.